Hello and welcome to New Hope Alliance. And we are excited to have Lisa on today. And Lisa, say hi.
Hi.
So just want to take some time to come on and talk to Lisa a little bit about her recovery story and her journey and, what kind of got her through the doors. But again, like the other ones, Lisa's one of our board members, and we will be doing a full-blown testimony all about Lisa soon, but we just want to get a little snippet today. Lisa, I'm going to turn it over to you. We'll start with the question of what brought you into the doors of recovery.
Gosh, man, the story, it's great. I can't wait to tell you the whole thing, but we'll just give a snippet today. So basically, I came into recovery as I'm a recovering addict. I was addicted to heroin and meth. I hit the doors of recovery in 2021. I started at a Celebrate Recovery. I did a couple months and then I left. And then I didn't go back until 2020. And that's when I found Rock Point. I've been going to Celebrate Recovery for the last 2 years, and I just found my home. Like, I really love recovery now. And in the past, I had done all the NA, HA, all the A's, and they just never really worked, like I just never really felt at peace. It wasn't until Celebrate Recovery that the doors just opened for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I hear that a lot, when we talk about our higher power, right? It's Jesus, and that's what we talk about in the doors of Celebrate Recovery. So
absolutely,
that's awesome. So you have a history of drug abuse, alcohol too?
No alcohol, surprisingly.
Okay.
April, I've been clean from heroin for 11 years and meth for 6.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So what made you realize at that point in time that you had an issue and you needed help?
I got arrested. I would say the arrests are really what it was my second arrest. I was arrested in 2015, and that's when I hit the recovery for heroin. I did the treatment at Crossroads. I did all the things. And then in 2019, I had a relapse with meth, and then I got arrested again in 2020. And then I just knew, I'm not getting any more chances. I have to get it together. And, I have 2 daughters that need me. And I knew I have to do something. So I just hit the road running. I actually, like I said, I didn't really find the recovery movement until a little bit later. But I've been clean and sober 100% since then.
That's awesome. So what made you want to get involved with leading? So let's talk about that. So you're one of the leaders at Celebrate Recovery.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you do there?
I'm an encourager.
All right.
Imagine that. Yay.
If you know Lisa or have spent any time around her, she is definitely an encourager. So fun to be around.
Yeah.
Okay. So what made you want to get into leadership with that?
I think it's just my heart where I found Celebrate Recovery, and it was just so inviting. And I love walking in recovery with people who are walking with Jesus. To me, that was the missing piece in all of my recovery tries in the past. I love being able to serve and help people, just being able to lead them to the same path that I found,
Right. Now you're a step study leader as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What are the other things you're doing in recovery?
So I am helping with New Hope Alliance. Of course, I'm doing part of the encouraging team at Celebrate Recovery. I lead Open Share, the addictive behaviors group there. I am a therapist by career. So I'm working as a mental health therapist in hopes to move into the addictions world.
Mm-hmm. You mean addiction and mental health have things in common?
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
Of course.
Yeah. So you're doing a lot. You've got a lot going on in recovery. I mean, that's your life and it's cool. So that's your career, obviously in the mental health side, but let's talk about that. What made you want to get into that, doing that day in and day out?
It's funny because I used to be a 4th grade teacher. And that ended in about 2013. And I think I had said earlier, I got arrested in 2015. Went to treatment in 2016, and I realized I couldn't go back into the schools. And so I'm like, well, what can I do where they aren't going to discriminate against my past or the things I had done? And so I had chose to get a master's in addictions counseling. I finished that in 2021. I actually didn't get into the field until just recently in 2026 because I was working through all of the the struggles from my last relapse. So,
Yeah. Well, I was there when you came and told the group there at CR that one night. That's awesome. So it's exciting to see this journey unfold, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely know the heart there. Asking you to be on the board at New Hope Alliance was a no brainer. You fit right in, and we're definitely going to use those skills. But let's talk about what you can do for New Hope Alliance. Your ideas, because you got a lot of ideas, and you bring a lot of cool things to the table.
So right now I'm focused on being able to provide resources. Like through my career, I'm learning about all of the resources available in our state to be able to lead people to treatment. So that's kind of where I'm at now. At some point, once I get my license, I would like to maybe be able to help if there's some kids or people struggling with opiate addiction, I want to be able to be their therapist or help them through that journey and that walk. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but my daughter had a fentanyl overdose. She's 20 now, so this is when she was 17, and she was in the Phoenix Children's Hospital for 3 days on a ventilator. And so that just really struck home for me, was like, because I had my own struggles with addiction and I'm now watching my teenage daughter go through it. I was like, there needs to be help and we need to figure out a way to help people and even the parents. I'm very fortunate that I was able to recognize and understand and catch it quick. Like I caught her addiction really quick because I saw the signs, but not all parents see that. And nor do they know what to do with their child when they're using.
Right.
So like, I feel like that would be a good place for me to be able to help, as well as maybe to help provide resources for the families.
Yeah. And being in the schools, right? So we can be proactive with the kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So did you have Narcan in the home at the time?
So I did actually, but when my daughter had overdosed, her boyfriend had rushed her out to the car. I didn't know what was going on. I just heard chaos, but I had no idea. And then I got a phone call from the Dignity Health down the road saying that my daughter was there and she had overdosed on fentanyl, and I had found out her boyfriend had given her Narcan in the car before she got there. And the doctors told me that without a doubt, had she had not been given that Narcan, she would have died for sure. So
yeah, and that's a success, right? I mean, it's not always successful, but it definitely wasn't this case. Thank God.
Thank God, yeah, for real.
Yeah, I mean, we hear this all the time that people go and they use alone, right? And one of the things we talk about, an addict is going to use.
Yeah.
If they're not working on their recovery and getting clean, they're going to use. And so we want to give them the tools, right, to help keep them alive.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's key, because even in my own recovery, like if I didn't have tools like going to treatment or even knowing the availability, like I had found a Christian life coach to Celebrate Recovery, obviously, where that was a huge piece. Like having the resources and knowing where to turn and where to go is key. I mean, it's obviously going to make your chances of not relapsing better if you have those tools and resources.
Right. So if somebody reached out to us today and said, hey, I'm struggling with heroin, I can't get off of it, what would you tell them?
Well, first I would ask them, do you have any resources? Like, where do you want to go? How do you want to tackle this? Because for me, I would recommend like a residential treatment program, especially with narcotics. They have to detox first. So I would give them the resources to detox. And then from there, usually they would go to like a residential treatment or an IOP with supportive housing. That's what I would recommend.
Right.
Yeah, just to start, but after if they've had some time of sobriety, you have to have that follow-up care. It just doesn't happen overnight. You have to continue working on yourself.
Yeah. So where would somebody go if they haven't even detoxed yet?
They hadn't detoxed yet? Like there's a couple of like very well-known places in our area, which would be Copper Springs. And then there's also CBI, which is Community Bridges. They would detox and they would stay there for maybe 5 days. And then they would be discharged to preferably a residential treatment program.
Okay. We have all these different resource numbers, right? 988.
Yeah.
Is that something 988 could help?
Yeah, I would imagine they would lead them in that same direction. I would imagine that would be the same advice they would give. It depends on the person, like where are they at in their recovery? Because if somebody wants it, you have to want it, right? You're not going to get sober if you don't want it.
Right.
And people can tell you till they're blue in the face that like you need help. But until you really come to that place where you're like, you're right, I need help and I need to do something. You have to kind of gauge and see where they're at. Where are they? If they're looking for the resources and they're asking me about it, then they probably want the help. 988 probably would send them the same direction. Detox first, especially with opiates.
Right. Yeah. detox off of any substance, right, is dangerous, and you have to do it with supervision.
Absolutely.
And do it right.
Yeah. Medical.
Yeah. You definitely have to have the professionals help walk you through that.
Yep.
Yeah, I can definitely tell there's some passion there, and I definitely think you are in the right business. You're doing it, and it's awesome to see. So let's talk about future. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I hope to be independently licensed. So within the next year, I'll be associate licensed. Within the next 3 years after that, I should have my independent license. In 5 years, I want to be in addiction world. Like right now, I'm in mostly psychiatric care. There is addiction there too, but I want to be focused more in on like where my heart is. So maybe working at a different treatment center. I also would like to maybe go to school. I'm very into naturopathic medicine, just teaching people different ways to treat addiction. I've thought about ministry, theology type routes, because you can always heal with Jesus, right? Like that's a given. So that's an option. I don't know. I have been absolutely looking into ideas for schooling if I want to do like a PhD, and I had looked into like clinical psychology. I'm not really sure yet, but those are definitely some avenues I've been like kind of looking into.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's cool. That's a great 5-year plan. And there's no doubt in my mind, and anybody that knows you knows that you're going to do it.
Yeah.
You'll get it. So that's exciting. I don't want to take too much from the next interview that we're going to do and open up your whole life story, because there's a lot to unpack, right?
Yeah, there is.
And we're excited. I know quite a bit of it, but the audience, they don't, and they will. And they'll get a chance to know you, and can't wait to get you on here to, maybe even host this, because, I don't have to be the all-time host, and I'm okay with that. This is New Hope Alliance Network and Nation. We're doing it here. It takes a team of people to do it.
Yes.
So that's so cool. Well, Lisa, I want to personally thank you. Thank you for, number one, saying yes, when the doors came open for you to give back, and you're giving back in so many different ways. For you to come on and say thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining New Hope Alliance and being a part of what we're doing. I can't wait to see how God uses it, how God uses you, and the people that we touch next. One little nugget, if you could talk to any listener and say one thing that you would want to leave with that person, what would that be?
Don't give up. I say this all the time, like when I teach groups, don't give up. There's a path for you. There's a path for everybody. We all have a purpose, and God wants to use us. If you feel like guilt or shame from any of your mistakes, if you've used or any of the stuff that we go through, God will use those. He uses everything for his good. My favorite scripture is Romans 8:28, that all things work together for good. And absolutely, God will use your story. I am living proof that he's using my story when there was a point in time where I thought I had ruined my whole life. And I just really encourage people to not give up.
Yeah, you didn't give up, and here you are. So that's awesome. Yeah, I love that. Let's talk to the audience right now. Hey, if you're at that point, right, and you need to take that advice from Lisa, you can reach out to us at hope@newhopealliance.org. That's our email address. Send us a message saying, hey, I need some help. We'll reach out to you. There's plenty of ways to get a hold of us. Obviously, you're tuning in on YouTube right now, but Facebook, Instagram. If you have some things that you want to say to Lisa, thank you, whatever, shoot that over, and we'll make sure she gets that message too. But Lisa, again, thank you so much for coming on and spending time. I can't wait for the next one.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you so much for bringing me into your team.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Well, hey, like I tell everybody, to you and to the audience, welcome to the nation.
Welcome to the nation. New Hope Nation.
All right. Thanks.